All right, guys, wanted to show you a little upgrade we did on the Land Cruiser. I think we've done a thing or two on the Land Cruiser on the YouTube channel over the years. This truck we bought out of a salvage auction probably 8-9 years ago. It had been rolled over on its driver's side. Tree branch had actually gone through this A-pillar, had wiped out the dash. We had to put a dash in it. We also did paint work at the time on fender and the door. Then a few years after that, I actually sold it to a friend of mine, my friend Jason. And a few years after that, it went through a barbed wire fence, slid off the road, took out a post and went through barbed wire fence. Did a bunch of damage to the hood. We raptored that. Did some paint work on this fender. And then at that same time, we did the ARB bumper. I've got a winch for it at the shop. I gotta make a couple of spacer plates for it. But anyways, this truck, when we got it, had some pretty decent 265s on it, but they were just a street tire. And I've always, I don't know, I've always wanted to upgrade. So anyway, a few years ago, we picked this up from Jason. We did some horse trading with him and we ended up with it again. And I have wanted to do some 255 85 16s. It's a tire size I see a lot of guys running on the Land Cruisers. And I kind of decided that was the tire size I wanted for this truck. Now, right after I put the ARB on, the front end of this thing was sagging a good inch. So right now, to level that out, you can see it's actually a little higher in the front right now than it is the back, and that's partially where it's parked. Right now, it's exactly a 1/4 inch higher in the front than the rear. And what I did is I picked up some of those Slee off-road 30 millimeter spacers for the front. And I've actually got some, I believe they're 10 millimeter coming for the rear. So it'll actually, it'll be just slightly just a few millimeters higher in the rear once I get those Cruiser Tech 10 millimeters in. I've got a few things. Obviously, I'm missing a mud flap on this side. This back hatch we redid 8 years ago. I mean, we ground out and chased all the rust, and it's back. So I'm trying to find a hatch for it right now, or I guess if I can't find one, I'll strip this one back down and paint it again. But this trip is a trip to Boise to pick up that right there, which is a fuel tank for a 95 that I'm working on, another 80 series. It's a truck I've had for a while. The fuel tank is just a rusty mess. So found a guy in Boise that was advertising a really clean tank that he'd pulled out of a 97. And so I just ran over there last night and picked it up along with a couple other parts. The tires I decided to go with were these Geolander, the Yokohama Geolanders, and I am digging these things so far. I've had them out on dirt twice now. This is a pretty good dirt section that we're on today, and I like them. I mean, they're skinny, tall and skinny, which is I kind of like. They're tucked well under the flare, so I haven't had them in mud yet, but I'm sure it'll keep the side of the truck fairly clean. They're not quite, they're advertised as like a 33, I think 0.2. They're honestly not quite a 33. They're just a little under a 33. But they fit this thing pretty good. I've had zero rubbing. I mean, I've taken it out. I took it out a couple days ago and got it in some rocks and crossed it up as much as I could, turning left, right. I couldn't get them to rub at all. So I would say with the spacers I've got on this truck now with those 30mm spacers up front, that this thing's sitting pretty close to stock. And these 255, they're 255 85 16, man, they tucked under there great. Hasn't really affected, I haven't checked my gas mileage yet, but it doesn't seem to really have affected the drivability on the road. I came out yesterday, you know, doing 75, 80 in a few spots, but it cruises at 70, 75, no problem. And yeah, just really like them. I haven't had a chance to air them down yet, and they are a little, they're aired up. I'm not sure what they're at right now. They're whatever the tire store set them up as. They've only been on for a couple of days, but I haven't had a chance to air them down yet, and it would have been a good idea to air them down on this section of road because it's pretty bumpy. But we'll try that. We'll try that on the next trip out. But yeah, I just stopped along this little toll road here between. It's a toll road between Chalice and Sunbeam. Figured I would show you guys the new shoes, the new rubber on the Land Cruiser. So far, so good. I'm digging them. And yeah, I don't know. I highly recommend them. Like this size. If you're just looking for something a little more aggressive, but you're not looking to go into the 35 club or the 37 club and have to deal with all the re-gearing and the big lift kits and all that, I think this is a great like daily driver size for the Land Cruiser. Anyways, guys, yeah, so we took off 265s is what we took off, like a 265/75, but it was just like a road tire. These are a little more off-road oriented. Anyway, guys, just wanted to stop on the, just stop and stretch my legs for a minute, and figured I would show you this little Land Cruiser. It's been a while since we've, I think, done anything with it on the channel. And yeah, I dig it. Oh, one thing about this ARB, on the way out, I actually had a little antelope run out in front of me. I was doing about 55, and I had an antelope hit the front of this thing just square. Unfortunately, I mean, it killed him instantly, but it did not do a bit of damage to this ARB. I mean, it is, yeah, it is a tough bumper. So, man, that saved me, you know, $1,200 bumper probably saved me $4,000 or $5,000 in repairs, or possibly even a total truck, you know. So loving that ARB bumper. Just kind of slowly but surely we're putting this thing together. We got a trip coming up in a week or two. We're gonna go take it and put it through its paces. So maybe we'll do a little YouTube video on that trip. It's a place called Boulder Basin here in Idaho. Well, guys, thanks for watching. We will catch you guys later.